Hello everyone. I'm very glad you've joined me tonight here. In this peaceful corner of the world we call black screen history. If you enjoy gentle journeys into the past, if you find comfort in drifting through ancient cities and old, forgotten empires, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us share more calm and more wonder with others like you. And it means the world to us. Tonight we're traveling somewhere special. To a time of dazzling color, feathered warriors, and temple-topped pyramids. But beneath the surface, something darker stirs. It is the late 15th century, and we are in Mesoamerica, the ancient heartland where North and South America meet. You live in a vibrant valley, surrounded by forested hills, warm sunlight, and cool mountain air. Your city is prosperous, your people proud. But overhead a shadow grows. The Aztecs have come. They are warlike, organized, deeply spiritual. Their gods demand tribute, their rulers demand loyalty, and their priests. Well, their priests demand something else entirely different. They demand human blood. The Aztecs arrived in the region centuries ago, around the year 1200. At first, they were wanderers, newcomers, living on the edges of greater cities. They worked as soldiers, servants, and mercenaries, quietly learning from the cultures already established in the Central Valley of Mexico. But by the early 1300s, everything changed. They founded their own capital, Tenochtitlan, in the middle of a swampy lake. It was a remarkable feat of engineering. An island city connected to the land by causeways, surrounded by floating gardens, canals, and glittering towers. They built temples to the sun and the moon, markets that sold everything from gold dust to chili peppers, from obsidian knives to jade jewelry. By 1428, they had begun their conquest of neighboring cities, including yours. Your home was once independent. Now it's under Aztec control. Your people must pay tribute, goods, crops, labor, even soldiers. And worse, every year there is the whisper of something more terrifying. It's time for a human sacrifice. They say the Aztecs don't just want your cotton or your corn. They want your bodies. And though you try not to think about it, you know in your heart that you wouldn't want to be an Aztec sacrifice. You are a young man just past 20, born into a noble family, healthy, respected, and educated. You learned to read the sacred signs. You grew strong eating maize, beans, and spicy stews. You married a girl chosen by your parents. She's kind, clever, and beautiful. Together, you now have a baby son. You live with your extended family in a large stone house, with painted walls and a courtyard full of birds and fruit trees. You own fine clothes, even a feathered headdress and gold earrings. You are comfortable and safe, or so you try to believe. But safety in Aztec times was only an illusion, because every year ambassadors come, always escorted by warriors, always carrying scrolls and painted tribute lists. They inspect your city's harvests, they count your exports, and then they issue a challenge. Sometimes they ask for goods. Other times they ask for a flowery war. And when that happens, everyone goes silent, because everyone knows what it means. Not conquest, not politics, capture, sacrifice. The gods must be fed. The Aztecs did not kill for sport, nor for cruelty's sake. They did it for balance. For the sun, for the earth, for the gods who they believed had once sacrificed themselves, so that humanity could live. This is the heart of their world, a world held together by offerings of blood and of life. The gods of the Aztecs were many. There was Huitzilopochtli, the blue-painted god of war and the rising sun, a divine warrior who needed fresh hearts to keep the sun moving across the sky. There was Tlaloc, the rain god who controlled the thunderclouds and the precious wet season. Children were sometimes sacrificed to him because their tears were thought to bring rain. And there was Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god of learning, wind, and renewal. He was gentler, he forbade sacrifice once, but was overruled. To the Aztecs, offering a human life, especially that of a captured warrior, was not murder. It was an honor, a duty, a sacred act. Even the victims, it was said, were proud to die in service of the gods. But you are not so sure. You try to push it out of your mind. You go about your daily life. You rise early to pray. You speak with your father, who teaches you diplomacy and trade. You hold your son, who coos and giggles, in your arms. You take your morning meal, maize cakes, avocados, a little chili. And you walk to the edge of the town, watching the roads for dust. Because when dust rises, it means the Aztecs are coming. Far away in their island capital, the war drums begin to sound. Tenochtitlan is preparing for war. This is no ordinary city. By now, it holds nearly 200,000 people. Spread across canals and floating gardens, chinampas, where flowers bloom in rainbow rows. Temples stretch toward the sky, covered in red and white paint. The twin pyramids rise from the city's heart, crowned with shrines and smoke. Markets buzz with activity. You can buy cacao beans, obsidian blades, dried frogs, and jade necklaces. But on war days, the city hushes. The market closes. The people gather. Priests in black robes ascend the temple steps barefoot. They chant. They dance. They burn copal incense, thick and sweet. The air fills with the smell of smoke and blood. Warriors prepare. They are not just men. They are jaguar warriors dressed in spotted skins, howling like beasts as they paint their faces. They are eagle warriors with wide feathered helmets and spears that gleam in the sun. Some fight for glory. Some fight for captives. Some fight for the gods. But all know one truth. A warrior who dies in battle rises again with the sun. In a sacrifice, becomes immortal. In your city, you and your fellow nobles begin to prepare. You are not Aztec, but you know their ways. You soak your armor in salt water. You sharpen your obsidian blade. You practice with bow and spear. You kiss your wife goodbye. And you whisper a prayer to the old gods, your gods, for protection. Because the Aztecs are not just coming for battle. They are coming for bodies, for blood, for hearts, and they have chosen you. And then they arrive. From the hills beyond your city walls, the dust rises like a golden mist. You see them before you hear them. Feathers glinting in the sunlight. Banners of red and gold. Rows of shields, obsidian clubs, and painted warriors marching in tight formation. The Aztec army is here. And this is no ordinary war. This is a flowery war, a battle not for territory, but for captives. In these ritual wars, both sides know the rules. It is a deadly dance with sacred purpose. Unlike other empires where warriors fight to kill, Aztec warriors fight to capture, to take an enemy alive, and offer him bound and painted, to the gods of the sun and sky. For the Aztecs, it is the highest form of combat. And for the captured, the path to eternity. You stand with your fellow warriors at the city's edge. Your hands are steady, your heart less so. You grip a macuahuitl, a wooden club lined with razor-sharp obsidian blades. So sharp, they say, they can slice through bone like fruit. You wear padded armor soaked in brine strong enough to stop arrows. You carry a bow, a spear, and a magic shield, painted with blue spirals meant to protect your soul. But the Aztecs, they look like gods themselves. Feathered cloaks, jaguar masks, shells and bells tied to their legs so they ring with every step. You whisper to your ancestors. You steady your breath. And then, the drums roar. The battle begins. But this is not chaos. This is not a battlefield of smoke and shouting. It is ceremony. Every movement is taught. Every tactic sacred. The Aztec warriors do not rush. They surround. They isolate. They engage with speed and precision, targeting warriors of skill. You fight. You swing. You dodge. You shout the name of your god just once before a blow strikes your leg. You fall. Another blow. Then your arms are pinned. The last thing you see is the red face of a jaguar warrior. His eyes painted with black tears. He does not look angry. He does not look cruel. He looks solemn. And then the world goes dark. You awaken to incense. Your hands are bound. Your body is intact but painted now. Your face streaked with red clay, your chest smeared with black soot. You are no longer a warrior. You are a prize. You are a gift. You are going to Tenochtitlan. The journey is long. Bound but not mistreated, you are led alongside other captives. Some are silent. Some weep. Some walk proudly, heads held high. You pass through lush valleys and across stone roads. Villages whisper as you pass. Some people lower their eyes. Others offer you food and flowers. Not in pity, but in honor. Because to be taken to Tenochtitlan is not just a sentence of death. It is a path to divine purpose. When at last the capital rises before you, it is more beautiful than you imagined. Tenochtitlan shining on its lake like a crown of stone and gold. White walls, turquoise canals. Gardens blooming with marigold, hibiscus, and prickly pear. Fishermen drift in long canoes. Children run along bridges. Women carry clay pots filled with flowers and tamales. And above it all, the great temple. Twin pyramids rising skyward. One to Huitzilopochtli, the sun and war god. The other to Tlaloc, god of the rains. Stone steps climb steeply toward the clouds. Your heart climbs with them. You are bathed. Your body is painted. Your chest is adorned with feathers and beads. Priests chant around you, low, rhythmic, ancient syllables. Smoke curls around your face. You can smell the copal, sweet and bitter, almost like tears. You are offered cacao, a rich, sacred drink. You are treated as an honored guest, even as the people gather in silence at the temple base. Some carry flowers. Some carry drums. All carry reverence. Because this is not punishment. This is renewal. The sun is high. The steps are hot under your feet. You are led upwards, slowly with dignity, by white-robed priests whose faces are hidden behind masks. Each footstep is an echo. Each breath is sacred. And when you reach the summit, you see the whole city spread out below, glittering, golden, alive. The air is thinner here, and quieter. Time begins to feel strange. The priest holds an obsidian blade, black and shining, carved from volcanic glass. It is not jagged. It is not cruel. It is sharp, pure, ancient. He says a prayer. He raises the blade. And then, there is no scream. No horror. Only stillness. The heart is lifted to the sky, held toward the sun. The people below raise their arms, and the drums thunder once again. Not in mourning, but in thanks. Your name is now forgotten by history, but your soul, they believe, rises into the sky. With the sun, with the stars, with the warriors who came before you. You become part of the cosmos, part of the balance, part of the rhythm that keeps the world turning. The sun has set. The temple steps cool in the evening breeze. The city of Tenochtitlan slowly returns to its rhythm. Drums fall silent. Flowers are gathered. The priests descend, their robes fluttering like ghosts in the twilight. Below, the people carry on with their lives. Children chase fireflies near the canals. Merchants call out the last prices of the day. Fishermen cast nets into moonlit waters. The cycle continues, just as it always has, just as it must. To us today, the Aztec world may seem brutal, alien, unimaginable. How could they offer up their fellow man to the gods? How could a people so advanced in art, astronomy, medicine, and agriculture also believe that blood was the price of balance? But to the Aztecs, there was no contradiction. Life was death, and death fed life. The gods had once bled themselves to bring humanity into existence. And so in return, the Aztecs believed it was only fair, only just, to give something back, something meaningful, something powerful, something alive. It's easy to forget how vast and beautiful their world was. They built floating gardens, mapped the stars, kept time with incredible accuracy. They created poetry, painted manuscripts, and honored the jaguar, the eagle, the wind, and the rain. And when the Spanish arrived, when disease and war would finally erase the empire they'd built, they left behind not just ruins, but riddles, questions, and awe. Today, the stones of Tenochtitlan lie beneath the modern streets of Mexico City. But listen closely and you can still hear echoes of drums, of wind through feathers, of whispered prayers in a language long gone but never forgotten. You have journeyed far tonight, from the Central Valley of Mexico, to the heart of a flower war, to the temple steps where gods and men once met. Now you may return. Let your breath soften. Let your body rest. And as you drift into dreams, carry with you the colors, the stories, and the quiet power of a world that once was. Thank you for joining me here, in this shared space of wonder and memory. I'm Daniel, and this was Black Screen History. If you enjoyed this journey, please like and subscribe. We have many more stories waiting just beneath the surface. Until next time, sleep well and dream deeply.